So, so I've been called to this job. We're in a bungalow, and as you can see there, look, we've got a pipe going. It's a central heating pipe. Now, the more observant of you might say, well, why are you bothering to freeze it if it's only in a bungalow? Just let the pressure go. Well, I don't know whether you can see up there. You can see the bottom of it. It's a gas boiler. Now, I don't do gas, so there's my free unit. Works really well, that does actually. So my plan is, I think that's a Worcester boiler, and although I do fit them with a mate of mine who's a gas engineer, I think that there is a bleed point inside the boiler that you have to take the casing off for. Well, I can't take the casing off because I'm not gas safe, and I don't really want to ring my mate to get him to come down just to take it off and, you know, bleed the boiler back up. So my plan is I'm going to freeze it, cut the pipe out. I've got a piece of pipe there already ready to go. I've just got that in crimped on. This is one thing I was going to show you. Fortunately for me, I have a lathe at home, so what I do with so many of the 22mm, 15 and 28mm compression fittings, I bore that ring out the middle so I can then use this as a slip socket. So my plan is, when I've got both of these ends, when they're frozen, what we're down to -20 now, I will drill a tiny hole in there just to make sure it's frozen, and if for some reason it hasn't, I've got this what I made up with a rubber on the end that I can pop over the hole to hold it, and then let the freeze machine go a bit longer. I've just heard that one crack actually, so that's frozen, so we'll not be long. So I'll get this cut out and then we'll have a look when it's done. That's the other one just gone as well. Right, so that's cut in, pipe's still frozen. I've just got to wait for it to defrost, and that one there. So remember, I'll just go back to this little thing again. This is just a cheap generic pipe cutter I bought off of eBay. So I altered the end of it, and that in there is actually just a pencil rubber. So my thoughts behind it were, normally when I'm, well, not normally, pretty much most of the time when I'm out and about, because I'm an oil engineer, all my work's in the countryside, and I'm primarily on my own. So you can imagine if you was in the loft space of a big house or anywhere cutting a pipe and you froze it and you cut it and it hasn't frozen, you're going to be, well, you're going to be in a world of shit, aren't you? So I've took the drill bit out now, but I have a little tiny drill bit what goes in there, which is in my freeze box. And if I get the pipe, I'll show you what I did. So just there, look, near my thumb end, can you see that little tiny hole? I'll drill a little hole in the pipe before I cut it, and then that lets me know that it's frozen. If it hasn't, then I literally just put that round there and put the rubber over the hole, nip it up, and then that stops the water. Now I tried that at home, obviously outside on my bench, and I was putting 3.5 bar of pressure in, and that stops it instantly. Yeah, you do get a spray of water come out, but what you can do, if it's a horizontal pipe running along a wall, you can drill it at an angle so that way if it hasn't frozen, it comes out, you stand the builder's bucket on the floor, so there's no panic. So, you know, I just thought I'd mention that. So we'll wait till this defrosts a bit and let my clamps defrost, get it all put away. That's well, you can see Rothenberger Rofrost Turbo 28. I watched Dr. Pipe a long time ago when he was doing a comparison with 3 different pipe freezing machines, and I really like the idea of this one, so that's the one I went for. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the others, but that froze that in just over 10 minutes, and I don't know whether the video would have picked it up, but when I was talking about this before, you'll have heard a little. That's an indication that it's frozen. So anyway, we'll get cleaned up, wrapped up, off to the next one. Right, So we're back at Kelston, and I'll just put this rad in here. So it's just a little 7x600. So that's all that done. I can't actually remember what I showed the last time. So that one in there is done, all piped up, ready to go. So's that one, and that one. I'll show you something. So I don't know if you remember at the beginning, I said that these floors need to be cut because there's hot and cold to go to an island in the middle there, and then there's a rad to go over there behind that trestle, and then another one here. So, you see how thick the dust is on the floor? So when I got here yesterday and did a little bit upstairs, I've just come back here this morning. The builder, in his wisdom, has obviously cut this floor. He hasn't used any water, yeah, I get that. But instead of blocking that doorway up there and opening the fucking back door, the bell end is just cut. I don't think you can pick this up on the floor. This dust is everywhere. It's in every radiator that I've fitted. This is the far end of the house. Let me get one here to show you. Yeah, see all this on here then. To the point where, on the banister rail going upstairs, look, it is absolutely thick with it. So all this pipe work that I had put in before, look, the colour of that's some I did yesterday, and I finished off piping that one down there through here, picked up them. I've got a tail end there and one over there, look, waiting for that old radiator's going to go back on, but they don't know what they've done with the brackets yet. And then that one, and even up here in this is the far end of the bedroom. Look, the builder, well, he's just a fucking bell end in my opinion, because, you know, why would you do that and fill the whole house full of shit? Look, it's all in the radiators, it's everywhere. You know, you got to ask yourself, would he have done that if it was in his own house, when he's just put all new rads and that on the wall? It's just a complete and utter, well, I'll be having a word with him when I speak to him anyway, I don't know who he is, but... Right, so, what I've got left to do, heating wise, is that radiator there has got to be replaced. I don't know whether we can see underneath there, see them two pipes. That radiator I've just put on downstairs is hanging on the other end of them. So I've got that one in the bathroom to put in. I'm waiting for the customer to come back to me, because you look down there, you can see the two holes in the finger. One there and one there. That's where the old rad was. But I don't know if it wants to be there, or if it's going over there or on the other side. So I need to get some information from him for that. And then once that's done, I've then got to get those two pipes up there, across, through that floor in that corner, and also bring hot and cold up. That's where I've got to. So it's not going too bad. I haven't had as much time up here as I would have liked. Do one thing and another. But anyway, that's how it goes. So, hey you young lads watching this, don't be a bell end like this builder. Have a bit of pride in what you do. You know, just tidy up on that as you go. I mean, as you can see, this radiator here, I've just finished this one. All my gear's here. When I move to the next one, I take it all with me. You know, my drill was in the boxes and stuff. You know, any packaging and everything that's left over from the rad, I'll put them all in one spot in the house. You know, yeah, got to think of other people a bit, haven't you? You know, and have a bit of pride in what you do. But obviously, the bell end builder doesn't think like that. So, anyway, rant over. We'll crack on and do a bit more. Right, as I was saying before, the phone decided to crash. I'm going to pull all the tiles off from around the toilet and maybe from behind it, and then I'm going to leave the toilet in because it's the only one in the house. This whole system, it's can't see now, but it's got quite a large hot water tank, 2 immersions in it, and the heating in this house, even though there's radiators, is one of those electric heaters downstairs, which is faulty, and they can't turn it off, because if they turn it off, according to the electrician, they can't turn it back on again. So it's a freaking sweatbox in here. So I'm going to get all this lot out, all these tiles are not off the wall. I won't be able to get back until Thursday. So all I'm really worried about today is to get this lot ripped out, because at 2 o'clock I've got to be on another job. So the reason why it's all going to be ripped out is, what we can see down here on the floor, can we? Somewhere down there, all the floor's rotten. And what was happening, when I was taking a shower, the water was running down inside the shower screen, underneath it, down the back of the bath panel. So when I get this lot out, all this floor's down here is going to have to be cut out and replaced. So yeah, that'll be Thursday morning when I come back. I just want to get it all ready to do the floor on Thursday. I've only got Thursday morning now, because then I've got to be on some other jobs Thursday afternoon. So I'll be back here on Friday to get the bath put in, so at least I've got a bath and a toilet. And then it'll be a case of waiting until it's all tiled, come back, fit the new toilet, new basin and the radiator. Just a quick point on this sort of thing. I don't know whether we can see up here in the corner. We've got they've actually cleaned a lot of it off. But you can see all the mould on between the tiles. It was a lot worse than this. And it always amazes me how customers are quite happy to spend, you know, a fair amount of money getting a new bathroom suite done, or a refurb, or whatever you want to call it, and then put the poxiest freaking fan in like that. Now I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't know who the electrician is, but he obviously hasn't took that one out, but he's put that one in. Can you see that up there? There. Personally, if it was me, I'd have spent a good bit of money on the fan and put a real good fan in, because the problem that we have nowadays is everybody wants to live like a lizard and be 25 degrees plus. They never open the freaking window. So if you haven't got a good fan in your bathroom, this is the sort of thing you end up with, all this damp. So, you know, if you're going to spend a lot of money on your bathroom, spend some money on the fan and get a real good one. It's got some suction to it, and a moisture sensor in there as well. It'll pay you dividends in the long run. Right, we'll get this basin out and this bath out. Right, basin's out. I can't remember who it was I was watching that. It might have been Tiff, Heating and Plumbing. Or it could have even been PB, I don't know. But whoever it was, they got a leak behind some boxes, and when they got to it, they found out that it was a speed fit fitting. Someone had just rammed it on the pipe and not bothered to clean the pipe up. So this is just a bit of a tip for you young lads and you DIYers. If you're going to use the speed fit, which is absolutely fine, you must have clean pipes when you go to put your fitting on. So you've just seen there, I've just heated that up with a blow lamp, just to flip the paint off a bit easier. If you haven't got a blow lamp, you can just use a knife. But these pipes are not going to be left at this height. They're going to be cut down, obviously. But for now, the time I leave today, I just want them capped off, and then I'll alter them to suit when I'm back. So that's all it takes. Look, if if you leave the pipe on there, sorry, the paint on there, a bit of a ding now, look, we're not that far down. Inside these, you can see, look, there's just an O-ring in there. Well, the O-ring needs a smooth surface to seal on. It's not going to seal very well. Well, there's 10 yards of paint on it, is it? So, a few minutes spent doing this might save you coming back the next day to find ceilings in the floor and everything piss wet through. So, anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Nice and clean. Took no time at all. Right. I'll let those pipes cool down before I put the caps on, and we'll get onto the bath. Right, so you can see at the back there, can you? Get my fat hand out of the way. I've literally unscrewed the speed fit fitting from the socket. You are supposed to be able to press this part of the fitting. There we go. You're supposed to be able to press that collar down and slide the fitting off. However, when they've been on a while, that's not going to happen in most occasions. So you can just literally unscrew the fitting itself like that one at the back, look, to get it off. So the back one, I'll cut it below that collar or below that socket, clean the pipe up and cap it off there. The cold main here, we have got a service valve on there, so I'll be able to isolate it there. The bath trap, you can see I've got it undone under there, so that there is some water left in the trap. That'll stop any smells coming back. So then the next thing is, because it's a whirlpool bath, we've got to, there's all the motor and the pump and everything for the bath, so I've just got to find out where that cable goes to. It's in that back corner down there. I don't know if you can see it or not. See it right down there. Look. Find out what that's plugged into, get that isolated, and then try and get the bath out. Good tip for you when you're doing this, too, actually. Make sure you protect your eyes, because this stuff is, when it breaks, it's like little needles coming at you. The second thing I'd say is, where you can, get some fucker else to do it. Right, all out. That took some doing, I'll be honest with you. And I even got that great big mirror that was there in one go, without breaking it. So, for today, I'm going to cut this flooring up, pull that out of the way. Got them pipes to cap off down there. Yeah, and turn the water on and make sure we're alright, and we should be kind of good to go. So, if we get the electricians watch this, see all this stuff on my head, don't panic. It's just what we call sweat. It's what happens when you're working hard, like, you know. As a mate of mine said to me a while ago, don't worry about working hard, no man ever died drowned in his own sweat, so Sparkies will be safe anyway. So anyway, we'll crack on and get clean up, get the floor out. Not too bad. I suppose that number there is for somebody, isn't it? So, it's not gone too bad. I knew I had some flooring issues to sort out, but I'll be honest with you, at this swinging, I thought it was going to be just in that area. That's where the back end of the bath was, with the shower screen above it. When you look up there, look. So the old car's has had some paint on at some point, hasn't it? So I'm going to have a word with the customer. The bathroom measures, I think it's about 6.5 by 6 feet. So if it was me, I would rip the whole lot up and replace it. We are on 2 outside walls there and there, so it shouldn't be too bad. I don't know whether that bit down there goes under the wall or... Well, that's a stud wall, so most probably. Anyway, it looks like we've got a joist running down there, doesn't it? So if I replaced it from there back, so if we went from there back right to this side, it will get rid of a load of stuff. So I need to do that, then get the bath in. Once I've got the bath in, I'm going to have to sort these parts out for this new towel rail, because it's going to have a tall one going in the wall. And in the meantime, I need to also ask the customer if she wants to get the tiler to come round here, and he wants to get all these walls cleaned up before I put the bath in, because obviously I don't want him to damage anything on the bath. Well, that's up to him. Right, that'll do. On to the next one. There you go. Managed to get the mirror out all in one go. What a pain. Right. Okay, so I've got the floor up. Well, I need to get up. Got a bit of bracing to do down there, underneath there. Someone had cut that before, so I don't know what on earth I was thinking. So now I've got to get some boards cut, fill all this lot in, alter those, see the 2 service valves down there for the towel rod. So I've got a bit of alteration to do there. And let me see that. Rusty nail straight down the inside of my finger. Lovely. Right, we'll get this floor sorted out. Right, we've got the rest of the flooring down as much as I can do. This bit here, pretty good. That bit there, I'm not going to try and cut that out. At least here, it's resting on the joist there. If I cut it there, in fact, you can see in the floor where I put braces under. I've done them there as well and there. But the next joist is past that wall. So that's got a bit of water staining on it, but the board in itself's alright. So I replaced all that, altered my pipes ready for the towel rod, fitted them a toilet to use in the meantime. It's not screwed down at all, so I told them they're going to have to be careful with it. Not that else I can do, because we've got the fat hand out there. I can't do anything much more with the toilet, because we've got the guy who's coming to put the mermaid board in on tomorrow or the day after. Oh no, it's not, sorry, middle of next week, and I'm going to come back here next Tuesday. It's Wednesday today. I want to fit the bath and sort out the pipes for the power shower on the wall. Then he's going to come in, board it all out. The reason I've left the toilet loose, so he can just lift it away from the wall a bit, get his board behind it, and then good to go. Right, off to the next one. This job, got to replace that for that. What's happening is, early every morning, they're getting an awful lot of water hammer noise in the system. And it's coming from here. It's not coming from any ball valves anywhere on the system. The only thing I can think it is this valve. That's the inlet that side, and it comes direct from the main downstairs. So I can't think it's anything else, so I'm going to swap that over. So I've got the water off, just drained the hot taps, I've got that loose there. What I want to ask the experienced plumbers out there, you see how this unvented tank is teed into the hot on the top? I'm told that you shouldn't do that, which is fine. It should actually be teed off. There we see the cold out through the pressure reducing valve and the pressure relief valve. Should be teed in here. So that pipe carries on down, doesn't it? And it joins into the bottom of the cylinder, where are we? Down there. Just underneath there, yeah, there. But what I don't get, or what I can't seem to understand, is why is it so important that it comes off of this pipe, which for all intensive purposes, I know it joins a tank, but it just joins a tank and it comes back out here, doesn't it? What difference does it make? And there's a leak on there as well, so what I'm going to do is cut that, see if I've got any 22mm cap ends for the press tool, press a cap on there, see if I can sweat this off, and press a T on there and just come up the top somehow like that to there. Not sure yet, but yeah, my question is, why does it make any difference if it comes off there? The only thing I could think of is that over time, the hot outlet on the tank, it could, as we all know, fur up inside and eventually cause a blockage. Therefore your expansion vessel wouldn't be able to do its job, would it? But apart from that, I can't see the well, only other thing is, this is always hot, isn't it? So I wonder if maybe, could that be the reason? So that the hot water is not in contact with the diaphragm? I really don't know. If anybody does have any really good suggestions, then stick it in the comments and I'll have a look, see what we think. Right, we'll crack on and get this pulled apart. Right, capped off, leaving the pipe, pressed elbow, and a press T, got another press cap end underneath there. Now if anyone says, why didn't you take the expansion vessel from there or there, I presume it comes off of there. But there was no paperwork with this valve, so I'm not 100% sure. I think that's just for a balanced cold, and that's for the expansion vessel, but I'm not sure. So anyway, that's how I've done it. One question now, for all you press tool boys out there. The press tool I've got is that one down there, look, Rothenberger. Can you see, if I can get the camera in. That's a bit bloody awkward. Oh, actually, you can see on there. Right, on the edge of there, where the jaws have gone together, it's left a horrible sharp bloody edge. And it's done the same on every one. No matter how good I tried to get it, it's left that ridge on them all. So, any of you boys know anything about that, whether yours does the same, or you know, if that's just how they are or not, you let me know in the comments and then that'll be handy. But apart from that, yeah, the vessel at 1.9 bar of pressure in, so I've topped it up to 3 bar with my trusty compressor there. So everything's nice and dry, we're all up to pressure, so I think we'll call that good, and we'll just wait and see how the customer gets on with that, see if that stops the noise in the morning. So, right, leaky toilet next.